This video is all about bending. This way, that way. It's all about bending. Quick look at our layers panel. We have a few layers with wave effects and a CC collider applied to them, which we'll get into in another video. We'll focus on this hot dog in this video. We'll start with his foot. Move the anchor point of its layer to where his foot would be connected to his legs. There. Now when we change the rotation, it's like his foot is connected to his legs. And it's more natural this way, and makes our life much easier. Let's start animating it with a few rotation keyframes. So it goes from 0 degrees to -25 degrees and back to 0. We'll also ease in and out our keyframes. That looks pretty good, but it's way too slow. And I kind of like the foot to hit the ground with more oomph, you know?
Oi. More passion, more energy.
To do this, we'll move the keyframes closer to each other, with the last keyframe even closer. I like that. That looks good. Now let's make it more natural by adjusting the speed in the graph editor. So it races fast, and then slows down, and then hits the floor. I'm happy with that. And next we'll add a CC Bandit effect to make the animation even smoother. Set your start and end points a little further away from your shape to avoid distorting it. And now you can easily bend the foot. All we have to do is add in a few keyframes similar to our rotation keyframe, and we're done with the foot animation. Now let's loop this animation over our timeline. Sure, you can copy and paste the keyframes. I'm guilty of that as well, but it gets tricky when you want to change the animation later. There's a much better way to do this. All you have to do is hold Alt or Option key and click on the stopwatch. Now type in loop out, open brackets, close brackets. And just like that, your keyframes will keep repeating over the timeline. And you can even add new ones, and it will still keep on repeating. Now let's get this guy to groove with the music a little. And we'll add in an adjustment layer and rename it to Wave. And then we'll apply a wave warp effect to it, which turns our hot dog into a flag. Not quite what we're looking for here. We'll change the direction from 90 to 0. So the waves will be more vertical. That's more like it. But now he's turned into a bacon, and still not what we're looking for. So let's increase the wave width to 500. That's more like it. Now look at those moves. Now to reduce the wave effect on the feed, I'll set the pinning to bottom edge. Nice. That's more like it. Now we'll jump out of our hot dog comp and add a CC Bandit effect to its layer. We'll again adjust the start and end points to reflect the shape of our character. Nice. But now when you bend it, it's being all weird. So it seems to follow the comp size and goes out of it. But don't worry about it, I gotcha. All you need to do is add a grow bounds effect. Apply it and move it behind the CC Bandit effect, and then increase its value to 500. Now we're getting there. Let's animate the bend too. We can add keyframes this way, but let's do something different. Let's see what happens if we add in a wiggle expression. Okay, maybe a bit too much. That's not bad either. It doesn't look like he's grooving with the music, you know? Seems more like he's had a few too many cups of coffee, all agitated, all jumpy. So let's instead use a sine wave for the expression. To get started with the sine expression, you need math dot sign open brackets 1 times time close brackets. What this essentially means is that we'll have a sine wave between 1 and -1, and we'll multiply it by time. Because the value is tiny, we'll multiply it again by, let's say, 100. Now we're getting a lot of continuous bending. So it's good, but we'll have to bring it down a bit. Let's say 10. Nice. It's a subtle movement, but it goes a long way. And we did all of this with no keyframes. Lastly, I'll create a null layer and link all the face layers to it. We'll separate its dimensions and add expression to the X position. We'll use the same expression, but we'll add plus value to it. This way it'll move back and forth, similar to our bend animation, but it only affects the X position. One more thing to finish our animation is to add a mirror effect. Now you can keep it this way and have yourself an extra hot dog, or change the reflection angle to 90 and move its center to the bottom of our character. This will create a nice floor reflection and adds more dynamic to our animation. Finally, double click on the effect and open the composition options and lower its opacity to 25. I'm quite happy with that. Now, what do you think of the moves? Are they subtle, just enough, or would you add more bending? Let me know in the comments. You can also find the project file in the descriptions below and mess with it all you like. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more of these videos. See you in the next one.